Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers, and this is video 5 in our 6-video series called One Digital Kit 2 Ways, a collaboration with Lisa Fisher. And Lisa and I are both using the same kit, and we're making 2 different projects. So the link to her YouTube channel is below, so that you can go check out her project with this kit, and hers is going to be 6 parts as well. And then also her Facebook group link is going to be below, so you should really go over there and check out her group, because her group is really great too. Okay, so where we left off is that we are now on page 6. Now on page 6 we're going to see how many pockets we can make on this one page. I'm gonna try for 5. We may only be able to do 4. I have not done this ahead of time. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this is what we're gonna need approximately to do this page. This is, I changed the backing paper that we're going to work on to this tan, and it's not a plain tan, it's got little white flowers on it. You can see it, I think, in the camera. It's one of the pages from the kit, and instead of, originally it was going to be this paper, which is very, very pretty, but I decided to use this. We're going to use an envelope and create 3 pockets on the side. So I didn't want to cover this up, right? So I decided to use the tan background paper, and we'll put our envelope on, and then we'll cover it with the pretty paper. This is my plan. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to chop up this envelope. Oh, this is ephemera and such. Oh, and I wanted to mention that one of our pockets is already on the page, because if you remember on page 4, we had built-in pockets on the side of the book, remember? And so I think I forgot to tell you when we did page 4 and 5 that to put your card in that pocket there with the tab on it. I used one of the large writing cards that comes with the kit, and I printed the this coffee dyed kit paper that I have, that I can just print out on the backs of papers instead of adding coffee dyed paper to everything. Plus, if you add coffee dyed paper to the back of this, you run the risk of it snagging every time you put it in and out, because this is a pretty tight pocket. All right, so page 6 is also one of our built-in pocket pages that's built into the book, and it's on this side. So we've got a card with a tab, I did a second ago, for that, and that will go in over here when we get done. So that's going to count as one of our pockets, so I'm actually going to cheat. So there. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our envelope and we're going to chop the head off. There is going to be a little bit of inking involved. Apparently I don't know what I'm doing here, which is not unusual. I'm winging this page. I want you guys to know I had written it out one way, and I thought I had a way to make 6 pockets, but I didn't. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut it down to the, oh, no, we're going to cut it down all the way to this right here. Sorry about that. All right, so you're just going to end up with this. Okay. throwing everything away. Now we're going to deconstruct our envelope. Because we're going to put thumb grabs in there on here, and I personally do not want to see the blue. So this is the side that's going to be glued to the page. This is the side that's going to have the pulls on it. Okay, so this is the side that we need to cut a paper to fit right there, so that when it's closed up, you know what? I almost did that backwards. This is the side that's going to be glued to the page. So this is the side we need to cover, because this is going to be the top, and that's where we're going to cut the thumb holes. Okay. So I just have a piece, this is just a scrap piece, and I'm going to cut it the width or the length of this. Now you're going to laugh, but I'm going to use my paper cutter, my paper trimmer for it, because guess who cannot cut a straight line to save their life? Me. So we've got that paper. If you want to ink one side, since it may show a little bit along the edge, then you can go ahead and do that. I'm putting the flower to the inside because I'm mainly interested in this light, in this blue with the, okay. And let's see, you're not going to see this, and you're not going to see that, so you don't need to ink it. Okay. So we're going to glue this to here. Oh, look, there's a tan side. Methinks I like it better. I didn't realize it was two-sided. The scrap was from a scrap that I had printed on two sides. So let me do that real quick. It's kind of funny. I flipped it over to glue it, and I'm like, aha! A little discovery. A little excitement in our video. An aha moment. Now we're going to glue it down. Usually don't use too much glue for this. Just make sure it doesn't stick out farther than this part. We mainly want it to just so that you don't see that blue pattern when we make our thumb holes. Okay, so now we're just going to put the envelope back together. I recommend I would glue the little flaps on the outside instead of gluing them back on the inside. It makes it less of a chance of when you're sliding in and out, things in and out of it getting caught. So just glue it back inside out. You don't have to worry about it too much. We're going to be gluing this whole thing to the page anyway. You just want to kind of stick it back together for now. Okay. Now we want to cover this with this paper, and I want to cover it with these flowers. Now, on this paper, there's a little bit of tan right here, And I don't want to see that. So before I start measuring, I'm going to cut that little bit off. So I want to start right at the flowers. Okay? So now I want the flowers, we're going to put it on the right side with the opening facing to the left. So I want the flowers to go this way. And I'm going to cover the whole thing, but I'm still going to have to ink it. All right, so we want it to be this tall, and we want it to be this wide. I'm doing it up here because it's the tan area. Okay. If you do this long part first, then you end up with a nice big rectangle piece over here. If you do this part first, then you end up with a long skinny scrap, and then you know what I'm saying. So now I've got this nice pretty scrap, or offcut. I call them scraps when they're little bitty. Now I've decided to cover mine completely, my envelope completely, but I'm still going to have to ink the edges because you're going to see it along the sides. If you want to glue this on first and then just ink it, I think that would be the easier way to do it. So let's glue this on. Remember to make sure you're, oh, you know what I was going to do, and let's do it before I forget. We can still do it now that it's closed up, even though it's closed up. So you're going to put some glue in the center. Just make a line down the middle, because we're going to make 2 pockets out of it. Mine's not exactly in the center, so we'll have a little bit smaller one, a little bit bigger one. Okay, so that makes 2 pockets out of 1 pocket. Kind of sneaky that way. Okay, now let's glue the paper on. I told you I was winging it. Make sure you put it on with the flowers the right way. Remember, opening to the left, flowers on the right. Stuck in the middle with you. Oh. Okay, that just shows how old I am. If you know that song, you win the old prize along with me. Okay, well, that's pretty. So now we're going to have to ink this. I can still see my pencil mark. I think I'd like to erase that. Normally I don't ink on camera, but this is not going to take that long. You know, I now wish I had got a little bit of a loose spot there, I think. I think that's the problem. Didn't quite make it to the corner. Yeah, that's what the problem was. I just want to knock that white off and then make that little bit of color around where, especially where this light color is. And we're going to have to stop for a lunch break because I'm hungry. No. Now, when we glue this on the page, we're only going to glue it on 3 sides, and that'll make a third pocket. Well, a fourth pocket. We've got the one built in. We have 2 little pockets here, and then we're going to make a big kind of a tuck pocket here. All right. So, do we want to do that now? Put that down in the corner. I wonder if this is going to work. We can just do it on the other side. Okay. All right. I'm just thinking out loud, which is always very scary. All right, so let's just glue this down here and across here. And I just did it backwards. I'm going to let that glue dry. If you smear it out thin, it doesn't take very long. Because there's my opening right there. You'd have thought I would have realized. Or right here. It's still tacky. Okay, let's, now the way we're going to make the last pocket is we're going to make a thumb hole up here, and we're going to ink it. And when we glue the actual paper to the page, we're only going to glue it on 3 sides as well. So as soon as this dries, and it looks like it's going to take a while. Okay, I'm going to put you on hold while that dries. Seems kind of silly to sit around and watch paint dry, huh? Or in this case, glue. Okay, so enough of that excitement. So I'm going to glue it across the bottom. And up the side. And that's going to go along this outer edge. And I'm going to line it up with the bottom of the paper. And then I'm going to line it up with the side. Well, that's pretty. Do I always say that out loud? I think I do. Now we're going to make our thumb holes here. Probably should have done that first. I'm using a 1/2 inch because this isn't that big. 1/2 inch circle. There are little lines on the sides that show you when you're halfway in. You have to excuse my head. I'm just looking to see if I'm lined up completely. And you'll see that's why we put the brown paper on the inside. On this one, I think I'm going to have to use a smaller one. Wow, that's really small. Let's see if I can get this one in there. Probably not. Oh yeah. Actually, that might be 3/4 of an inch. Yeah, that's the 5/8. There we go. Now we have thumb holes on both. So we've got those 2 pockets. We have this third tuck pocket. We have our fourth big pocket, our big card pocket. Then we're going to put our little hole punches away. Sorry about that crash banging. It's pretty amazing that I didn't use a ruler the whole time. Now, we don't want to make the hole punch in the center, because that's where our card pull is for our page, for our book page card. All right, it's in the center. So what we're going to do is we're going to put it up here. I thought maybe we could put it up here, but I really don't think we have enough room. All we have to do is do it above the center on this side. So let me, oh no, I'm going to measure. Okay. This is 7 3/4. So let's go 6 inches for the center. I'm trying to move it far enough in that I will be able to see, and then we will have to ink that. No, I'm not going to be able to see that. Anyway. Okay, and now remember, you'll see the tape under that. So now we're going to glue the paper to the page. In the book. See, when we glue it in here, that will make another pocket for us to put something in. Oh, we don't want to do that yet, do we? Were you guys yelling at me to erase the pencil mark that ended up being in the complete wrong place? Should have just gone ahead and eyeballed it to begin with, but we need to ink this little thumb pull. I think I'll ink these two. Oops, I know I'm off camera. Just wanted to do it before I forget, and I definitely wanted to do that one before I glued it to the page. Okay. So now we'll glue page on, and we will not glue the side with the thumb hole. That makes it easier, doesn't it? All right, you guys quit laughing. Try to keep your ribbons out of the way so you don't glue them. I'm going to flip this over. Make sure you got your flowers at the bottom. Make sure everything's all lined up. Okay. Now we need to make a writing card to fit in here. I've already cut that one, so I guess I don't need, well, I will, but not quite yet. Now I have discovered, that since I have so much trouble with white glue making wrinkles in the paper and such, that instead of using a glue stick, I have discovered that you can use Fabri-Tac to go around the edges to glue on coffee dyed paper, and it won't leave a wrinkly edge. And I've discovered I don't have to glue the center. Now, your mileage may be different. I'm going to glue this on the coffee dyed paper up in the corner. And along the edge, and then I only have to cut the two sides. Wow, I think my stomach is going to grumble. It's a good thing we go on pause between pages. Okay, then I'm just going to cut it off along here. And along here. And voila. Now I'll have to ink around the edges of that. Maybe I'll do that off camera. I'll do that off camera. There's no reason for you to have to watch me do that. And then this larger writing card will slide in here. It does slide in here, I promise. Okay, it will slide in there. Looks like I'm gonna have to make it a little bit shorter because of where the glue is. So let me do that before I ink it, right? Make it just a smidge narrower. I may have to re-glue the paper on that side. Well, looks like I got lucky. All right. So then I'll ink it, and it will go here. That will be one. Okay. Looks like I kind of cut a little bit more, then I'm definitely going to have to re-ink it. Then we've got the card here with the tab. So that's 2. Then we get our ephemera out here. Now, this is not big enough. You can put a great big tag in here, which there is one. I just don't think I have it cut out. But we're going to call this 3. You can do that. 4. And 5. So we managed to get 5 out of 6. I don't think that, yeah, no, that won't fit in there. I can put it here. Yeah, I don't think it'll, oh, it will fit inside there. So we can put those 2 in there. These 3 in here. Okay, one big writing card possibly, but you can do all this with 1 page and 1 envelope. Ta-da! I knew that was going to work, she says confidently. Okay, so that's going to be it for page 6. I'm going to put you on hold and do the lunch thing. And then I'll come back and we will do page 7. Okay, I'm back. We're going to do page 7 now. And these are the parts that we're going to need. There's a piece of clear cellophane sitting under the art ruler under the eraser so I don't lose it. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a specimen page, and it's not going to be like a flip out or anything like that. It's just going to be something simple since this page is kind of curved. Let's take out our backwards envelope. I still haven't made a new one yet. And our notebook. Nothing we can do about the flap. We probably could take this ephemera out, but I really like the way I've got it in there, and I don't want to, and it lays pretty flat with those taken out. So the other element that's going to be on the page is that this large writing card is going to slide down between. Now, I've already made the card. It's a rectangle. I figured you guys could handle that. And I put coffee dyed paper on the back. So I'm going to set that to the side also. She says confidently. Okay, I'm going to put it there. All right, I'm going to put it right there in the ephemera box. Now, the ephemera box is getting pretty thin. And without the writing card, I have this large writing card that I was going to use somewhere else, and I think I took it out. I have the large envelope pocket that would fit just fine across the bottom of a page, but I just didn't particularly end up with a page that I had enough space for it. So that's the only reason that's in there. Otherwise, it's really pretty and I would have used it. And then there's a bunch of little ephemera that we're going to end up using probably in the, sticking stuff in there, and that'll be after the video's over. So that's all we've got left. And actually, there's a few big tags, and I don't know why I didn't cut them out, but I'll find a place for those as well. And so let's get going. This should be fairly simple. I used a CD cover, and I stole the cellophane out of it, and then I cut a smaller replica of the CD cover. Let's move the book out of the way. I have notes, but they're not typed up, so let's see if I can even read them from here. It's fairly straightforward. So I showed you on page, 3? Back on page 2 on how to cut everything out for something like this to cover a CD cover. So we're not going to go over it again, and that will make this page fairly quick. So this is our paper for the page, and it's been inked. This is our cutout that is a smaller version of a CD cover, and that's been inked. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it on the page about where we want it to go. And we're going to use these 3 butterflies that I remembered to glitter their little bodies, and a little bit of this paper shaving that I have to make a small cluster that we cover with the cellophane. Okay, so instead of like one big butterfly, I'm using just the biggest one that came with the kit, and then I could have enlarged one, but I didn't feel that it was necessary to have one large one. I thought 3 smaller ones would be sufficient, or 1 medium and 2 smaller ones. Okay, so we're going to put this on the page pretty much where we want it. I don't want to cover any of the flowers, and I don't want it centered. That's my personal preference. Obviously, you can put yours wherever you like. I'm going to make a light pencil mark where I want the corners so I can put it back where I wanted it. Now, you can do just opposite corners, but I've got it straight right now. So I'm going to do 3 out of the 4. And then I'll be able to erase this. The Lorna, who does her videos under Miss Paint a Lot, and I found them on Amazon. There are pens that you can use, and then you just blow your heat gun on them and the ink disappears. They're used in sewing for material, probably quilting. So they're a type of a gel pen. They're not the erasable. They're called erasable, but they're not the friction erasable. kind that you write on paper with, even though I believe they're under the friction. It's not spelled Friction. It's spelled friction, but it's Frixon, if I remember correctly. You guys can feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll write what they are in the notes down below. But anyway, I thought it was pretty cool, and I just haven't gotten any yet. And I don't have a heat gun or any embossing powder. So there you go. Hello, stimulus check, I guess. Let me take a drink of coffee. My voice was fine this morning, and now all of a sudden when I'm making the video, my voice has decided to disappear. So, and then I'm going to take the cellophane. Now, obviously, the cellophane is going to be too big. This is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Let me double check. It might be 4 by 4. I cut it down a couple times. It's 4 by 4, where a normal CD cover is 5 by 5. All right. So we're going to, I also wanted to mark where the large butterfly was going to go, because we need to put that down before we put this back on. Okay. Can't remember what movie that was from. Or actually, it's from South Park. Adult cartoons. Okay. Animations. They're not cartoons apparently when they're for adults. Okay, so I'm going to put the butterfly right there, I believe. So I'm going to pick him up and I'm going to put a little dot where I want him to go, because we're not going to have the CD circle here for reference. I don't want to draw the circle in, and as long as I have the big butterfly, then I know I can put the little ones wherever I want. I'm going to try to use a little bit of, these are really thin paper shavings from when I was trimming off the paper for this ink dyed or coffee stained paper, and it took off a little shaving of the paper as well when I trimmed it off. And this is white, so it was from another project, but that's how I got it. I was trying out my new rotary cutter. It's a great big one with the double rails, and it opens up and it weighs 6 pounds. So anyway, so let's go ahead and place our butterflies. Let's get the easiest part done first, huh? I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on his little body. That's enough to hold them down, especially because we're going to have the cellophane over them. I'm going to put the circle back on. I don't want the little butterflies to go out of our area that we want. Then I'm going to take the 2 little butterflies. You know what I didn't do is I didn't put some of this down. I can put it down before we glue this back on, and the cellophane will hold it down. So I can just put some under his wings like that. And a little bit. This is about the closest I get to clusters, I'm telling you right now, because I'm not very good at them. Put a little bit down here. Stick it up under his wing. And then I want to line this back up again. Oh, that's going to work out. That'll be pretty. And then put one little butterfly, I think, here. I think me putting glue on his little body might have been out of frame, but I think you guys can handle that as well. The butterflies have all been inked. And I think I'm going to put the other flutterby. I still maintain that's what they should be called. Right about here. I almost forgot to glitter pen their little bodies ahead of time. And they're awful small. I wonder if a little bitty piece under each wing, under here will work. Maybe a little piece there that goes under both. Okay. And now we're going to take our piece of cellophane. Now I will admit I have never done this before. I usually use the CD cover as is. I didn't do it this time by just deconstructing it and using just the front because I felt it was too big and I would have had to center it, and I didn't really want to center it. So I am going to put glue. You can see the lines where I made the crisscross. I'm going to put glue around the circle. You and I will both find out if this works all at once. And then I'm going to lay the cellophane down. I realize I'm going to have to trim it. I'm going to lay the cellophane down on here. I'm going to try to make sure it's nice and taut. That will give it more the illusion of the microscope slide, because then the little butterflies will push, their wings will push out. The trick is to not get any of the glue on the actual cellophane. So let's let that dry for a minute. And now I'm going to go back with my scissors. This is the part I was not sure about. And cut the cellophane back so it doesn't show. The only good thing I can say about doing it this way is that you don't have to cut the cellophane straight. You just have to cut it off. Okay. Why do I always get hungry once I start doing a video? It's you guys' fault. I'm going to gain 100 pounds as I do so many videos. Oh, I don't know if you guys know or not, but oh boy, that's pushing my luck, huh? I have over 100 videos now on the YouTube channel, so that's great. Hopefully you guys will have a lot of content and a lot more to come. I really like doing these. I hope you enjoy watching them. Well, I guess you do, or you wouldn't be here, huh? Of course, now I am doing the joint project with Lisa, so that may have a little bit to do with it. You may be one of Lisa's subscribers. Let's see if I've got that. No, I don't have it back far enough. One side to go, a little more banter. I didn't want to do this ahead of time because I wanted to show you what I was doing. And now I still have a CD cover that I can use. It just doesn't have the cellophane in it. I think I want to cut this back just a smidge. It looks like there's a little teeny piece that might show. There we go. And yep, I think that's gonna, oh no, there's just a little, there is a little piece right there. That stupid car commercial or insurance commercial where they say they sing that song, "You've got the looks, I've got the brain, let's make lots of money." That song has stuck in my head, and I used to know that song, but now I don't know any of it except for the part on the commercial. So I hate that when that happens, and now that I've said it out loud to you, I have hopefully spread that song to your brain and gotten it out of mine. I'm sorry it's taking me this long. It's just the cellophane is clear, which is the whole point. So I want to make sure none of it shows, though, because it's shiny. Okay, so now all we have to do is put this over the butterflies. Make sure everything lines up the way we want. And then it's going to be pretty. Oh yeah, I think that's going to be pretty. Okay, so now let's put the glue on our creation here. Our Frankenstein miniature CD cover. Once again, make sure not to get any of the glue on the cellophane in the window. I think I better leave it alone. Got a little heavy-handed with the glue right there. Okay, now let's line the corners up. If you get 3 of the 4 lined up, then the 4th will be lined up, I promise you. Well, look at that. That's pretty. Okay, let me hold that up for you so that you can see it without the glare. So that turned out pretty. Okay, now let's erase our little pencil marks. Or if you've gotten those pens, because you're watching along and then making later, and I hate to say this, but it is just a smidge crooked. I think it moved a little bit that way. There we go. Okay, now the only thing left to do is to put the thumb pull for our writing card to go down in. Now, I want to take a look at this and see how, yeah, see, that's not definitely not gonna, we want to put it in the center. Yeah, see, it's not going to reach it at all, so I need to get my 1/2 back out. I guess I should have put this a little bit lower. It's possible we won't have a writing card. Well, it's a small one, but it's there so that you know the card is there. Remember, because the tape will be across here. And it isn't really centered. I guess I could try to cut it out, but I don't want to ruin the page. So I would rather the little bitty thumb pull be a little bit off center than ruin the whole page. So now we can put our placeholder or our cellophane holder eraser away. Put our hole punch away. Clean off the tip of the glue. And this is, I don't know if I showed you, but this is what I chose as the writing card for this page. And I glittered the little bodies on the butterflies. And I cut it down to size where I can have it stick out just a little bit, because remember, the tape will be around. Okay, so all we need to do now And I just want you to know I did not look at my notes once. It's probably why the thumb pull's in the wrong place. I'm just saying. But this is the thing. Just don't let it eat at you. Oh, we do want to ink it though. Let's make the little crooked thumb pull look even more prominent. So you're going to flip it over. I'm going to put ink on the, glue on it. I'm going to stick it to the book. Now the last thing that you can do is you can put a little drop of liquid pearls on each corner of your little specimen. And you don't put glue across the top, or you're not going to be able to put a card in at all. That's what I get for talking and doing. Of course, as we all know, I'm always talking. So, sorry if there was extra noise there. I just reached across myself. Let's get our ties out of the way. Let's get our page glued on. Anyway, you can take a little drop of liquid pearls and that will make it look like it's kind of tacked on with little tacks onto the page. I would do that last when you can leave the book lay open for a while, because it takes a little while for them to dry. And you don't want to smear them. You know, like on that cream cheese commercial, you don't want to become a what is that, a schmearier? Anyway, so then we can slide our card in the top, slide it down to there where it's even with the top of the book, and there we go. So what we did so far, or what we did in this video, is we did our 5-pocket page, which is upside down. I keep forgetting that my camera is turned around the right way, so right side up is right side up. I used to have to film upside down. So let's put these back in. Forever I'm going to call that my backwards card or envelope until I get my new envelope made. Right? I think we've been doing so good so far. And then we're going to have fun with this page here. And then the back, we're going to add a little addition onto the back, if it works out. If not, we will just decorate it. And I'm going to color the butterfly bodies right now before I forget, but we're not going to do that on the video. So this is the end of video 5 of One Digital Kit 2 Ways, a collaboration with Lisa Fisher, and I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Bye bye.